Well, happy May. I'm not sure about you, but the month of April was the busiest month of this year for me. I had a lot of projects due, I had papers due. My wife and I are in the middle of a move. April's been a very challenging month for a lot of reasons. And I find myself approaching May with a peace that I was not expecting. So today I want to share with you what kept me going and what kind of gave me rest and peace in the midst of my chaotic month of April. I learned how to find rest in God and just find rest in like the sovereignty of God. I think it's one thing to think, okay, God is sovereign. He can do all these things. He is powerful. He is able to do things. It's one thing to believe that, but it's another thing to kind of just rest in that and keep that as your anchor. And that was my anchor in the month of April. And I want to share a particular psalm with you that I kept going back to all throughout the month. And I want to read it with you today, and maybe we can meditate on some of the words. I'm reading from the NLT version. This is just a Bible I found in my room. So this is Psalm 131. It's only 3 verses, but there's something about rest here that I want to talk to you about briefly today. It says, Lord, my heart is not proud. My eyes are not haughty. I don't concern myself with matters too great or too awesome for me to grasp. Instead, I have calmed and quieted myself, like a weaned child who no longer cries for his mother's milk. Yes, like a weaned child is my soul within me. O Israel, put your hope in the Lord, now and always. So I think this first verse is like the result of resting in the sovereignty of God. When I'm able to rest in the sovereignty of God, my heart does not need to be proud anymore. I don't need to rest on my efforts and my accomplishments and my ability to get things done and to handle things. When I rest in the sovereignty of God, I'm resting in the awareness that I am a limited creature with a limited amount of resources and energy. And I gotta rest. I have to sleep. I have to eat. I have to take care of my body. I have to know how to say no. That is not the case with God. God is limitless. God is source. God has an infinite amount of energy and ability to create and sustain because he is sovereign. That is not me. I am not, but sometimes I like to operate like a machine because of my pride. But as I rest in God, I realize that, okay, my heart does not need to be proud. My eyes don't need to be busy. I don't need to concern myself with matters too great or too awesome for me to obtain. I'm always going to have more emails in my inbox. I'm always going to have more items I can put on my to-do list as long as I'm alive. And if I find my identity in a empty mailbox or an empty to-do list, I'm never going to be able to grasp that. So the result of me resting in the sovereignty of God, that's the first verse. When I'm able to not be proud, when I'm able to not be so concerned with matters too great for me, I think that is evidence that I'm resting in the sovereignty of God. And the second verse, in Psalm 131, this is a process of how we are able to find rest in the sovereignty of God. It says, instead, I have calmed and quieted myself like a weaned child who no longer cries for his mother's milk. So when I'm able to calm and quiet myself, this is the process of finding the results that we see in the first verse. When I can get alone and just be still before the presence of the Lord and trust that he is with me and trust that no matter what I'm facing, I'm able to get through it because I'm not alone. And also, like, whatever I'm going through, I can't go through it by myself. I literally can't. I need people. I need rest. I need to take care of myself. I need God because I am limited in my ability to get things done. So solitude and just getting alone has been really important for me in April because I needed that. I needed that reminder as I had plenty of things to accomplish. I needed to get away and breathe and continue to draw strength and energy from the source. And then lastly, the last verse, O Israel, put your hope in the Lord now and always. This is the reason why we can find rest in the sovereignty of God, because God is worthy of hope and trust. He is a God that is the source of hope, the source of strength, both now and always, now and forever. Like the psalm says, I'm like a baby and I need God. I need to rest and depend on God, or I'm just going to be in a corner crying and just scrambling and making a mess of my life. But when I find rest in the sovereignty of God, I have power, I have energy, I have a deeper purpose as I go out and do what I need to get done, create what I need to create, write what I need to write, be with the people that I need to be with. I cannot do that without finding rest in God. My hope is that you can find time to just rest in the presence of God, find time for prayer, find time to draw strength from God. And this is how we do it: through prayer, through spiritual disciplines, through reading of the word, through our being with people and interacting with them with open hearts and open minds. I mean, there's different ways that you guys are drawing strength and drawing energy from the source of the of the world, but I do it through solitude, silence, spiritual disciplines, and whatever you need to do that so that you can find rest and have somewhere to draw strength from. I hope this video and this psalm has blessed you. Go ahead and spend some time by yourself reflecting on Psalm 131, and I hope that it blesses you like it's blessed me. Thanks for watching.